I didn't feel like putting any effort today, so I didn't put on makeup. You're gonna have to deal with that. My apologies, but we're here to talk about July's favorites. Now, I know it's August 7th. I'm a little late. I'm sorry. But we're here. That's what matters. But anyways, in today's video, we're gonna talk about music, books, movies, shows, random stuff, I guess. I even have my little notebook with me so that I don't talk too much, like I always do. I think that we should start with music because July was a pretty interesting month, music-wise, at least for me. I don't know about you guys, but for me it was really fucking good. Why, you may be asking? Oh, because one of my favorite artists decided to drop a surprise album, and if by now you still don't know who I'm talking about, what are you doing with your life? Genuinely. But I'll explain if you don't know. Justin Bieber hadn't released music in like 4 years maybe, and all of a sudden, out of complete nowhere, nobody saw it coming, he released an album called Swag. And vividly remember where I was when I got the news. I just had gotten home from work and I was supposed to go to sleep because the next day we were going to Portugal. We were road tripping from Switzerland to Portugal, which we do pretty much every year. And he was like dropping pictures of billboards all over the world or wherever it was. It was just a black screen and it said Swag, and I didn't get it at first, and then it hit me that it was his album, and then I found out it was literally coming out a day later, and I was on top of the world. I love Justin Bieber. I'm a huge believer and I've been for such a long time, and I will say at first I was like listening to the album, and then I was like yeah, I love this. Is it his best album? I don't think so, but it's also not his worst album. Some of my favorite songs are Daisies, obviously. So catchy, so good. Yukon. Do I wish it was pitched down? Yes, but I don't mind that it's the way it is. Devotion. So good. So good. First Place, Walking Away, All I Can Take, Too Long, and Sweet Spot. Now, my only issue with Sweet Spot is I don't like Sexy Red's verse too much. I don't hate it either, but I'm not a huge fan. But I really like that album. And that was pretty much the only thing I listened to in July. I kid you not, I had that album on repeat all the time. Yeah. Moving on from music, let's talk about shows, shall we? Can we talk about the fact that Prime has been killing it with shows recently? Like, in my May favorites, I talked about Motorheads, which is also a Prime TV show if you haven't watched it, and it's really good. And in the July favorites, I'm gonna talk about We Were Liars. Everybody knows We Were Liars. Everybody's talking about the finale. Everybody knows what happens. Well, if you don't, I think you should watch it. Everybody knows what We Were Liars is. And if you don't, I'm gonna explain it to you. We Were Liars is about this rich family that goes to this island that they own pretty much. Not pretty much, they do own. They're like pretty fucking rich. Yeah. And they go back to that island every summer and they spend the whole summer there. And basically during the summer, our female main character, Cadence, something happens to her and she doesn't remember it. So when she comes back the next summer, she's trying to figure out what happened to her and nobody can tell her. And yeah, you'll just have to watch to find out the rest. I will say the first like 2 episodes were a little meh for me, but then I was hooked and I was really invested. I really liked the characters. My favorites were Johnny and Murin. Really love those two. The ending, I'm not gonna spoil it in case you haven't watched it, but it was so good. I wasn't expecting it whatsoever. I thought that a certain thing was gonna be the plot twist and then it was another plot twist. I will say they're hinting at a season 2 and I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I would have preferred it to be like a little limited series. Maybe that would have made more sense, especially considering the ending. I don't know. I guess if a season 2 happens, I'll have to watch it for my thoughts on it. Overall, it was a really great show. I will say, I did really like it, but again, because you don't know what happens to the female main character, Cadence, that was a little frustrating at times because it was just being repetitive and you didn't know what happened to her, so that was a little frustrating. But other than that, I have nothing to complain on that show. It was really entertaining and I really liked it. Then I started watching another show, and this show, literally everybody knows it. Everyone knows it. It's all everyone talks about. I think even Chris Evans knows about that show now, which is insane. Obviously, I'm talking about The Summer I Turned Pretty. Everybody and their mother is watching that. It's still ongoing. I watched the 5th episode yesterday. What do I have to say about it? Pretty much everybody's pissing me off, and I mean everyone is pissing me off. And listen, before you come at me, I was Team Jeremiah. Does that mean that I'm now Team Conrad? No, because here's why. I think that what Jeremiah did, I'm not gonna spoil it. I think that what Jeremiah did was so out of character, and he wouldn't do that. I think that Jenny Han did what she did because she needed like a plot twist, and she needed to make Jeremiah look bad so that we would automatically be on Conrad's side no matter what. You know what I mean? I do think that Conrad is better than he was in season 1 and season 2, but like still, it's so painfully obvious that Jeremiah is being painted as the bad guy, as the bad brother, and Conrad is all of a sudden a saint when he's not. I'm not saying that Jeremiah is a saint and that what he did is okay. Absolutely not. I'm just saying the narrative's kind of, you know. But, like I said, pretty much everybody's pissing me off. But I'm really attached to those characters, and I really want to see how the show ends regardless of who she ends up with. And, ugh, man, I'm just rooting for Steven and Taylor, honestly. That's the only thing I care about. Only thing. I don't care if she ends up with Jeremiah. I don't care if she ends up with Conrad. I don't care if she ends up on her own. I want Steven and Taylor to be together. That's it. And I really hope the ending is worth it because, oh boy, Jenny Han has me, oof. Every week I'm like, oof. Let's move on to movies, shall we? Since we're talking about shows, I think the next best thing to talk about is movies. I don't know how many movies I watched exactly in July, but 2 of them really stuck out for me. And the first one I'm going to talk about, maybe a little controversial. I genuinely don't know how people feel about it, but it's the Lilo and Stitch live action. I went to the movies with my brother and we watched that, and I kid you not, I had to hold myself back like about 4 times not to cry because I was like, wow, this is really intense. And usually I'm not a huge fan of live actions, of Disney live actions. There's maybe 1 or 2 that I like, but not a huge fan. But that one is really well done. That was really well done. I think it stuck to the original story really well. It didn't they didn't change a lot of the story, which I liked, but there were also different aspects that they brought in that weren't in the original movie that I really liked. Yeah, I cried. I genuinely, I really liked it. It was really good. The visuals were really good, and to be honest, Stitch was also pretty realistic and pretty fucking cute, like the original. I don't have any complaints. I gave that movie like 4 stars, and if I would have rated that movie right after I came out of the movie theater, I probably would have given it 5 stars because it was just that good. The next movie I watched was my first time watching it. I know it took me, I think it came out last year, but I hadn't watched it, and it was a movie that everybody was talking about and everybody was raving about. I just, for some reason, have never watched it. I'm talking about Challengers. Damn, I must say it is so worth the hype. I wasn't expecting it at all. I don't really know why I'd never watched that before because it genuinely just is that good. Zendaya, I mean, she slays everything she does, but she was so good in that movie. Yeah, I'm obsessed. I think I also gave it 4 stars. It just had me hooked from the very beginning of the movie, and I feel like nowadays, especially with like everybody's attention span and all of that, it's hard to do. It's hard for a movie to like hook you from the very beginning till the end, and that movie did that perfectly. And then the last movie I want to talk about, I actually wasn't even planning on talking about it because I didn't love it, but I want to talk about it because of what it is. I don't know if that makes any sense. It probably doesn't. But I'm talking about Zombies 4. Now listen, am I 20 years old and watching a Disney Channel original movie? Yes. And I'll probably be 30 and still do that. Maybe not. But probably, honestly. I really liked the Zombies franchise. Is it the best, like, DCOM ever made? No. Teen Beach Movie is, argue with the wall. But I really like the characters and all that. I think it's really well done. I don't have many complaints. The music is really good. Now, talking about Zombies 4, it wasn't at all what I was expecting it to be. I liked that a couple of actors from the first 3 movies came back and that they're now sort of introducing this new generation. To be honest, I didn't really understand what a Daywalker is or does or whatever. That's besides the point. It wasn't anything groundbreaking. I didn't love it as much as I loved the first 3, but I I cried. There's that. And I did really like just the feeling I had once I finished the movie. It is cringe at times. Some of the songs are not as good, but overall the songs are pretty good. I don't know. Do I want a Zombies 5? Not really, especially if the original cast is not going to be in it. But I don't think that movie is a waste of time. I don't know, I just had a fun time. Not my favorite movie. Out of the 3 movies I named, it's definitely not my favorite, but it is still worth the watch, I guess. And I think the more I think about it, the more I like it too. I don't know. Let's move on to books, shall we? I always love talking about books. Now, in July, I read 3 books. I read People We Meet on Vacation. I read I forget what it's called, but it was a surf sports romance based in Portugal. So I thought it would be perfect because I was going to Portugal. Was mad. And then I read One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. I didn't read Every Summer After, but I do really want to read it. Maybe I'll save it for next year's because apparently the summer is about to end. I know it isn't, but tell that to the weather because like what the fuck. This movie is about Alice and Charlie. Alice goes back to this, I forget where this takes place, but it takes place somewhere in Canada at a lake. The lake vibes are amazing, and she goes back to that lake house with her grandma. She's taking time off from her job because she's not really enjoying her job at the moment, and she's also helping her grandma because her grandma had, I don't know if it was a hip injury or something like that. She injured herself, and basically she meets Charlie, who also is staying at the lake, and from then on, I guess you can pretty much imagine what happens. But oh my god, they just have so much chemistry and they're both such complex characters, and that just makes the book so interesting for me. Charlie, our male main character, is arguably one of the best book boyfriends there is. I love him. I mean, he brushes her teeth when I don't remember if she broke her wrist or whatever it was, but something happened to her wrist. She couldn't properly brush her teeth, and he helped her. Stop. He helped her accomplish all the things that were on her summer bucket list because she wanted to do a summer bucket list, and it was a whole thing. It's so cute. He told her to picture him while she's reading her romance book. I'm sorry. What? Sorry. And he was just so nice to her family, to her entire family, all the time. He was just such a nice dude. I can't with him. I can't. Also, can we talk about side characters for a moment? The grandma, oh my god, I love that woman. Not to make this deep at all, it's really not that big of a deal. I didn't grow up with the grandma, but that grandma made me wish I had a grandma like Alice's. I give this book a 5 stars. It was that good. I really recommend it. And to finish off July's favorites, I think we should talk about random little things that I really loved during the month of July. These are all things that didn't have enough of to do a whole category on, so bear with me. Starting off with this product. It is a curl leave-in conditioner, and it's by the brand CHI. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but this is a product. I think I bought it like 4 or 3 months ago, and I still have so much of it. And today I showered, and I only used the leave-in conditioner after I showered, and this is how my hair turned out. I think it turned out pretty great. It gives me so much volume. I have a lot of volume in my hair naturally, but the more products I put in my hair, the less volume I have. And although the curls may be a little more defined, and this may look more like waves or whatever, just have a lot more volume. It dries a lot quicker than when I have like 50 products in my hair. I really love it. It smells really good. I don't remember the price though. I'll put it on the screen if I remember. If not, be mean to me in the comments and I'll tell you the price. Moving on, we have this little necklace. I'm not wearing it because I didn't feel like it matched the outfit. Oh my god, it's all tangled. It's this little necklace that has just a ginormous star, and I love everything that has stars. I mean, there's a star behind me too. I love everything that has stars, and I just felt like this necklace was so me, and I was wearing it non-stop. I still am, and that is, I think, from Even and Odd, but I need to check because I'm not sure. I think it was like 17 bucks or something. Again, I'll check and I'll put it on the screen if I remember. Now, moving on to probably my favorite thing that happened in July. I turned 20, July 27th. I know, I'm old. Besides the point. I turned 20 and two of my best friends gave me arguably one of the best presents I've ever received beside what my parents gave me. Gave me a guitar. We can talk about it. I so... what? Anyways, they gave me the Teen Beach Movie soundtrack on vinyl. If you're new here and if you don't know, I have an insane obsession with this movie. It is not only my favorite DCOM, but also one of my favorite movies of all time. And my friends know that. And I had been talking about this vinyl for ages, and now I finally own it. I love this. I've genuinely played this so many times since I've got it. And also, look at the vinyl. Look at the detail of the vinyl. Looks like this, and you might be like, what is that? If you look a little closer, you see there's the thing, the blowing thing, I guess. I don't know, that sounded weird. But it's supposed to be a beach ball. It's genius. And also, the Teen Beach Movie soundtrack is not fully on Spotify, which pisses me off, but now I have it on vinyl. I'm so obsessed with this. This is the best thing I could have received, honestly. I love this. I'm in love with it. And now I pretty much only need the Austin and Ally soundtrack and X on vinyl to have Ross Lynch's entire discography. I am crazy. But yeah, that's it. Those were my July favorites. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good shenanigans that you guys usually always do. Also, I want to thank you guys so much for the support on the Renee Rapp Bite Me album reaction. That was really, really cool. I really appreciate you guys. It's the first time one of my videos has done so well in so long. So thank you guys. Yeah, I hope you do stick around, and if you do, then I'll see you soon, hopefully.